If you worry about what other people think, soon enough, you will be on the sidelines of your life.
Welcome to the Millionaire Woman Show, where we'll be discussing leadership, business, human potential, inspiring you to live rich from the inside out. Unlock your creativity, stretch out of your comfort zone, break through your barriers, take inspired action, and achieve epic results. Now here's your host, three-time best-selling author, speaker, and certified executive coach, Debra Kasowski.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Millionaire Woman Show. I'm your host, Debra Kasowski, and today we are talking about overcoming the imposter syndrome. Now, the imposter syndrome is that experience of feeling phony, fake, or fraud, that someone's going to find you out and not think that you have the ability to do the job that you are there to do. Now, when does this show up? It often shows up with a new job, a new career, and even a promotion. And it comes from setting yourself up with exceedingly high expectations, thinking that you were not going to meet it. Now, the imposter syndrome itself is something that people are often high achievers who experience this. Now, in the 1970s, psychologists Suzanne Imes and Pauline Rose Clance came up with and coined the term imposter phenomenon. This phenomena was realized on a university campus that it mainly happened to women who were high achievers, who felt like they were a fraud or they were being phony and someone's going to find them out. These were women who were doing exceedingly well in school. They were worried about failing. They were worried about being kicked out. And it was all because it reverted them to thinking how perfect everything needed to be, and that led to unhealthy expectations. Now, these unhealthy expectations of perfectionism, unhealthy perfectionism, can come from a fear of criticism, a fear of failure, avoiding, getting things done unless things are perfect. Now, this can completely derail you. You're going to show up less committed. You might not do your job well. You won't be satisfied with the work that you do. And it shows up in how you show up. Now, I wanted to talk to you about this today because when you experience imposter syndrome, you are not showing up as your best self. You're not taking action on who you know you can be. So with Amy Cuddy, the author of Presence, she talks about how we need to change the name to imposter experience, because everyone at one time or another, we're normalizing this, at one time or another experiences the imposter syndrome, or pardon me, we'll get rid of this word syndrome, but it's imposter experience where you feel like you don't belong. You feel like you didn't earn your place. And when you experience that, it impacts the actions and the results that you're going to get when you're in that role. Now, in order to shift from that, I want you to think about the times that you felt like an imposter. What were those times like? Did you feel like you were faking it, that you weren't showing up as your best self? So I want to go through a few things to help you shift from that doubting in your ability, shift from focusing on perfection, to really shift on overcoming that imposter syndrome so you can show up as the best version of yourself. Now, in order to show up as the best version of yourself, number one, you need to learn the skills and what you need in your role and do them to the best of your ability. We want to see progress over perfection. Progress is better, done is better than perfect. We want you to really focus in on seeing the progress. Number two is to start paying attention to the progress and celebrating those wins. As you start to see the progress that you've achieved, you're going to build momentum, and that's where the magic starts to happen. Three, I want you to write out your strengths. Take time to acknowledge your strengths. This can be really difficult for some people. As they see their strengths and, see that they want to weigh out that they have more weaknesses than strengths because, I need to be humble. But when you're in a job interview or you're just moved into a promotion, you need to demonstrate that you can do the skill set. So it's not you're going to move from different levels of competence as you learn and build confidence and build your competence in the role. So you need to give yourself some grace. but also recognizing that there's always opportunity for you to improve who you are. Take time to talk with other people. Often we think we're going through an experience that we're the only one experiencing, and until we share it with others. And when we start to share it with other people, we realize that it's something that others go through. So it's a normal life experience. So don't be so hard on yourself. And don't forget to attribute those achievements and successes. You know, it takes a village to create success. But there's a lot of things that you do, those words of encouragement, that self-talk that you give yourself. Attribute some of that achievement to yourself and versus devaluing and dismissing it when someone gives you a compliment. You know, you carry a lot of credibility just for showing up as yourself. But we don't take enough time to recognize that and realize that. One of the best ways to share your expertise is by teaching others what you know. And as you teach others what you know, you begin to realize how far you've come. You know, a lot of the things that I have done not only have been through courses and books and podcasts, but a lot of it has been self-taught. So if I were to think about where I started from to where I am today, there's an exponential growth. But we often only see our only circumstance that's in front of us, and we forget to see how far we've come and progressed. Again, progress over perfection. We need to be able to see progress, and progress shows up as happiness because we can see that we're growing. Stop comparing yourself to others. This is one of the biggest traps ever. When we get into comparing ourselves to others, we start devaluing and losing sight of who we are, even getting into a competitive nature versus even wanting to collaborate with others. Now, this can take you out of the game. So you want to be able, if you're going to compare anything, you're going to compare your yesterday, and you're going to compete every day against yourself so you can become a better version of yourself each and every day. The next thing I want you to do is fail faster and better. And when I mean faster and better is when you have an attempt and it fails, I want you to take the learning from it, look for the lesson, get up, dust yourself off, and attempt again. The smaller the gap in your attempts, the more closer you're going to get to achieving that goal. Plus, having that focus. You might need more resources and time and different things that you might need to pull together. But when you start evaluating and learning how you can become better, that's where, you know, you can accelerate the success versus hold yourself back. So you want to change your words. Instead of saying, I'm not enough, you can say, I'm whole and I'm perfect just as I am. Or, I suck at that. Well, you don't suck at it. You're the right place at the right time and you're learning what you need to do. I'm a fraud. No, I'm real and I'm on my way to becoming the best version of myself every single day. So when you start paying attention to the words you're using and use more empowering words, you are able to shift, grow, and make that magic that I keep talking about happen. You are not an imposter when you show up as yourself, being the best version of yourself, seeing yourself as a student of life and continuously progressing and learning. Now, I want to share a really great quote by Amy Cuddy. Her book is Presence. I highly recommend that you read it. Presence isn't about pretending to be competent. It's a believing in the abilities you truly have. It's about shedding whatever's blocking you from expressing who you are. It's about tricking yourself into accepting that you are indeed capable. Sometimes you have to get out of yourself so you can be yourself. Now, I want you to really think about that. Sometimes you need to get out of yourself to be yourself. Often what happens when people have imposter syndrome, they see that others are more deserving of success than themselves. They lose that ability to see what they bring to the table. I want you to lean in very carefully. And when you have an opportunity to share what you know, I want you to share it. You need to be able to share your gifts with the world. You need to be able to shine and let everyone know what you're capable of. When you doubt your ability, Again, you teach others to treat you with that doubt as well. When you show up confident that you're learning, you're growing, you are humble with your mistakes, you're willing to learn, you're eager to learn, and taking those learnings and becoming better, a better version every day. Who can ever fault you for that? That's not fake, that's real life. Real life comes from showing up, being vulnerable, being brave, being courageous, saying, you know what? I don't know something, but I can certainly find out. That's when reality hits. That's when people start saying, you know what? I want to work for that person, or I want to be on that person's team, because they're real. They are not afraid to say, I made a mistake, I screwed up, and I am able to correct it because I own it. And I'm going to make every effort to show up as the best version of myself. So I want you to overcome, break through those limiting beliefs that you are an imposter, because you're not an imposter. You are truly who you are meant to be. You're enough as you are. You're coming to the table and you're bringing those gifts with you. And I need you to show up. You need to speak up. You need to teach what you know. You need to put progress, put that effort in so you can see the growth of where you've come. Because you're not the same person you were a year ago, 5 years ago, and you're continually progressing and becoming the truest version of you. Thank you for joining me here on the Millionaire Woman Show. Now, I'd love to continue the conversation, so go over to my website at www.debrakasowski.com, where you're getting your 3-part video course of making habits stick. Let's get you to build some focus and consistency into your business, your life, your leadership, so that you can get rid of those derailers. Now, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe so you don't miss a single podcast. Share this with your friends. I would love for you to do a snapshot of yourself or the screenshot of the show that you're listening to and post it on social media. Tag me. I would love to share it in my stories. As well, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit the bell, subscribe to notifications so you don't miss a single video. Every day or we have regular videos coming out on a regular basis and you do not want to miss them. Thank you for joining me here on the Millionaire Woman Show. I'm your host, Debra Kasowski. As Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. And on behalf of myself and my team, go out and make today great.